Runners, don't forget, Change the Act, Raglan Road a winning dancer. Neil Doughty rides Casting Time, and Jamie Osborne substitutes for the injured, though luckily not badly injured, Richard Dunwoody on Does It Matter. Here's how they bet.
Deep Sensation is the 7-4 favourite from 6-4. Does It Matter on 3-1. And Norman Conqueror 7-2. Midfielder 5-1. Poetic Gem at 14s. Casting Time is up to 16-1 from 10s. Fairbeck Dove on 33-1. And Mount Eaton Fox, the outsider, 100-1. They're all quoted.
Remittance Man won this race last year. And what a fine race he ran in the King George, although I suppose you'd have to say that probably the 3 miles did turn out to be further than he likes to go. I shouldn't think that the 2.5 here will worry Deep Sensation, who we're looking at. He fell first time out this season at Wincanton, but then the next time his principal danger, Beach Road, fell in a race at Devon, and certainly, although that made Deep Sensation's job a lot easier, he was nevertheless looking the winner at the time, or at any rate one of the 2 most likely winners in that race, and with Beach Road out of the way, he won in style.
He's a very good horse, this, and looks good value at 7-4. At least that was his price when we just saw him, and did well to win at Devon, beating Sabaki River. They pulled a long way clear of the 3rd horse. Got a lot of quality. It'll depend a little bit on how this race is run, because Norman Conqueror is a horse who only just does enough, and the faster they go, then the more that's going to suit him. Deep Sensation always got a good turn of foot, and didn't put a foot wrong last time. Norman Conqueror there in the familiar colours of Jim Joel. Steve Smith-Eccles really did excel when he went on this horse last time out. That was actually here at Kempton. Before that, though, on his debut at Wolverhampton, never looked as though he was going to get into the race, and his jumping improved as the further he went, and that was the same thing at Kempton. He's a horse, as I was saying, just does enough, and he won't be winning by 5 or 6 lengths. If he wins, it'll only be by a short margin, and the biggest certainty is he'll make Steve blow a little bit.
Steve just jogging him round to keep warm. 2 jockey changes, you've been told. That's Neil Doughty in the light blue colours with the red cap, and so on Casting Time. But let's have a look at midfielder. Trained by Peter Hobbs, ridden by Graham McCourt, who's had 1 good winner this afternoon. Well, his last 2 runs have been pretty promising. He was beaten by Beach Road, it's true, but that was absolutely no disgrace at Devon, and had won his run before that against slightly lesser opposition.
Had a really good start to the season. Well, I say start, we're halfway through the season almost. Peter Hobbs, this horse is giving him 2 of those, I think 25 wins he's had now. And I always think that maybe just keeps a little bit to himself, midfielder, but nonetheless he's a horse with plenty of ability, and it's just a question of whether he comes there on the bridle, so that Graham McCourt can just coax him along. Interesting race to finish up with this, because there's 1 or 2 horses which have promised plenty. One of those is Does It Matter, and Jamie Osborne's come in for a nice spare ride on Does It Matter, and this horse was well fancied to win at Sandown first time out. He was given a really good ride by Luke Harvey, didn't do anything wrong on him at all. That was his first run over here. He's been running in Ireland. They're going out onto the course now. Let's have some last news from Mac.
8 favourites have won in 16 runnings. Deep Sensation, Eero 6-4 now from 7-4. Very solid Does It Matter, a 3-1 chance with 7-2 Norman Conqueror, and 5 midfielder.
2.5 miles the trip then, 17 fences to be jumped. Lining up, nearest to us Norman Conqueror, Steve Smith-Eccles in the red cap, midfielder Graham McCourt in the pale yellow and white. And Deep Sensation the favourite, just doing a turnaround at the start. And they race away, going down towards the first of the 17 fences. Casting Time a little bit slowly into its stride, but a long way to go. 2.5 miles, in fact, and they come down to the first. And at it was Does It Matter, who shared Casting Time a little bit awkward at the first. Does It Matter, who shares the running, which looked fast with Norman Conqueror. Up on the outside, Poetic Gem running fast, and on the extreme right is Deep Sensation. That was the first ditch, and they're certainly not hanging about. And it's Does It Matter who leads. Does It Matter from Poetic Gem, Deep Sensation wider still. Mount Eaton Fox is up with a pace, and Norman Conqueror on the inside as they take the third. And the Novices jumped it well. The grey is Perfect Dove just behind midfielder, and Casting Time is the back marker, and they've taken the first three, and the leader's safely over the fourth, and they're all over the fourth. And it's Does It Matter leading by about a length now to Mount Eaton Fox in second place. And then showing third is Deep Sensation ahead of midfielder and Norman Conqueror, followed then by Poetic Gem, and the back marker is Casting Time. Norman Conqueror towards the rear as well, to rear of the main group. That is, they level up towards fence number 5, and they come down to it, and it's Does It Matter. Does It Matter who leads? And Perfect Dove was awkward there, so too was Casting Time, and they come down towards fence number 6. Coming to it, and it's Does It Matter who leads. Does It Matter from Deep Sensation on the outside, showing in second. And then midfielder and Mount Eaton Fox are close up third and fourth, followed by Poetic Gem and Norman Conqueror, and Perfect Dove clear of Casting Time. It'll be the last next time round. No change up front. And so the order as they pass us with a circuit to go. Does It Matter leads, but Deep Sensation just striding well in second. Midfielders in third, Mount Eaton Fox in fourth. A length back to Poetic Gem, and then Norman Conqueror, followed by Perfect Dove, and a gap of some 6 to 8 lengths to Casting Time, who is a little bit slowly into his stride, but he has jumped the first 7 fences safely. Away to the water jump then, and coming down to it, and it's Does It Matter? Does It Matter? The leader from Deep Sensation. Poetic Gem wide of midfielder on the extreme right, the black colours with the red cap. That's Norman Conqueror. Still Does It Matter who leads as they race away down towards fence number 10. This is second last ditch. The grey Perfect Dove gets a reminder there. Does It Matter comes to it, jumps it boldly and well. Deep Sensation, lovely stride on him, that horse, in second place. And third is midfielder. A gap of some 4 lengths then to Mount Eaton Fox, who leads the others as they swing right-handed and make their way down towards the 7th fence from home. Poetic Gem follows Mount Eaton Fox, and then Perfect Dove and Norman Conqueror, but those two not in the picture at the moment. Just coming into it now as they head down towards fence number 11. 7 out this then. Norman Conqueror in the red cap. But still got one behind him. Casting Time has been last throughout. This is the 7th from home. Deep Sensation and Does It Matter, only about a length between the two. In third place is midfielder, and then comes Mount Eaton Fox with Poetic Gem on the outside, ridden along Perfect Dove, Norman Conqueror. Looks as if Casting Time is going to be pulled up. Neil Doughty declines to jump the last ditch, but all the others do, and do it safely. And it's Does It Matter on the inside. Does It Matter and midfielder. And these just the length ahead now of Deep Sensation. They're 10 to 12 clear of the 4th placed horse, and it's Does It Matter keeping up the gallop under Jamie Osborne. Midfielder and Graham McCord going with him, and they go down towards the 4th from home. And the leaders are safely over that one, and so too the trailers. And it's midfielder on the outside of Does It Matter. Midfielder and Does It Matter cleared by 5 to Deep Sensation. 15-20 lengths back then to Poetic Gem and Perfect Dove and Norman Conqueror. Difficult to see any of those winning this. The Warner Wayward Lad Novices chase, because the trio heading for home, headed by midfielder in the yellow cap on the outside. Green sleeves the rail. Does It Matter? Deep Sensation the favourites, getting closer, and with that they've 2 gone there. Midfielder brought down Deep Sensation. This leaves Does It Matter a long way clear and 2 to jump. And another horse was brought down, 3 from home. And it's Does It Matter who leads as they come down towards the final fence. And Does It Matter has been left clear. Does It Matter well clear as he comes down towards the final fence. from Poetic Gem. And does it matter as a faller at the last? And so drama of the most spectacular kind, because the race has been presented to Poetic Gem, who's a long way clear, and it's Poetic Gem a long way clear of Purbeck Dove and Norman Conqueror. Steve Smith-Eccles looks round behind him. He can't believe that they're only 3 to finish, because Poetic Gem is the winner. Poetic Gem takes it from, in second place, Purbeck Dove, and the third horse home was Norman Conqueror. That's the 1, 2, 3. In fact, in those the only 3 finishes in this Warner's Wayward Lad Novices Chase. Boy oh boy, there's Deep Sensation, he's okay. Was I tempting fate when I said those 3 horses were sure to finish in the first 3, barring accidents? And I'm afraid to say accidents happen with abundance. There's Midfielder walking back, and there is Mount Eaton Fox walking back. That was the other horse that was brought down in the melee 3 from home. And so the result then of this Warner Wayward Lad Novices Chase, it's a win for number 1, Poetic Gem, in the colours of Lady Harris. That's number 3, Midfielder, walking back wounded at that third last fence, which has claimed a number of good horses today. Desert Orchid, of course, and Savant Noir went at the fence at which this fellow Midfielder went. The result, however, is a win for number 1, Poetic Gem. There he is, in the colours of Lady Harris, trained at Bingley by Sue Smith and ridden by Mark Perrett. Second horse home is number 9, Purbeck Dove, ridden by Paul Holly. Third horse home is number 4, Norman Conqueror. And there is Harvey Smith and Mark Perrett telling him probably that the game was never ever in doubt.
Harvey knows all about the part luck plays in this game, and here's Midfielder. And does it matter, with Midfielder at this stage looking to be in command, but he doesn't get nearly high enough. As a matter of fact, he didn't make a bad mistake really, but very nearly recovers, and poor Deep Sensation, through no fault of his own, collides with him and is bowled over.
Very lucky if they're both all right, those 2 horses, because that was a really one-off fall. So not very often that you get one right on top of the other one. Going to the last, a lot of people will say, well, Jamie Osborne had loads of time. It's very difficult to know whether anything's challenging here at Kempton. The crowd roars, and I can imagine he thought something was chasing him. He caught hold of the horse and he had a horrific fall. Does it matter? And we'll let you know how he is. He certainly didn't look very well, and unfortunately we fear that he killed himself in that fall.
First number 1, Poetic Gem, 14 to 1. Second number 9, Purbeck Dove, 33 to 1. And